They say autumn means goodbye, but for me, it was the season I learned to stay. Back then to the first autumn in Beijing. The first few weeks felt like standing in the middle of a storm. Everything new, everything unfamiliar. I still remember my first trip to the supermarket. I couldn't read most of the labels. I stood there, holding two bottles, trying to guess which one was soy sauce and which one was vinegar. People around me spoke so fast. I smiled a lot, nodded, even when I didn't understand. I told myself, it's fine. You will learn. You always do. But every night, when the city lights faded, the homesickness crept in, quietly, like fog. It wasn't just missing people. It was missing familiarity, the comfort of knowing how to exist without thinking. So, every small task, buying food, finding my classroom, saying my name right, became a tiny mountain I had to climb. But Beijing, in its own quiet way, started teaching me patience, because no one waits you to adapt. You just do. There is a strange kind of loneliness that comes with being far from home. It's not kind you can fix by calling someone. It's kind that makes you question who you are when no one around knows your name, your jokes, or your story. Sometimes I'll walk around the city after class, just watching people, an old man selling roasted chestnuts, couple taking pictures under ginkgo trees, students laughing in groups. I felt invisible, and yet somehow that invisibility gave me space to breathe. I started journaling more, writing things I couldn't say out loud.
Nice.
Sometimes in English, sometimes in Indonesia, sometimes in both. The pages become my home. The only place I didn't have to translate myself. Language became both bridge and a wall. I loved listening to people talk, the rhythm, the tones, the melody of Mandarin, but speaking it, that was another story. Every word felt like walking in a tightrope. I'm afraid I'd fall, afraid I'd sound wrong. Sometimes I'd say quiet in group discussion, even when I had something to say. It's strange how language can shape our confidence. When you can't express yourself fully, people mistake your silence for uncertainty. I learned to listen deeply. I learned that sometimes understanding is enough. Slowly, Beijing began to sound less foreign, because I stopped trying to fit perfectly and started belonging imperfectly. Around late October, the campus began to glow in shades of gold. I started riding my bike after class, just circling the same path under the ginkgo trees. It became my favorite ritual. The sound of the leaf crunching under my tires, the gentle wind on my face. I felt like therapy. For once, I didn't need to achieve anything. I didn't need to prove or perform. I just needed to be. In those moments, I felt connected. Not to a place, but to myself. I realized that maybe peace isn't something you find. It's something you allow. Then I started noticing little things. The warmth of soy milk on the cold mornings. The laughter of my classmates when they taught me new slang. The way the campus looked at sunset. Like a breathtaking painting you never get tired of. I remember watching an Indonesian movie at a cinema in Beijing, surrounded by strangers, yet feeling strangely at home. It reminded me that connection doesn't always need a shared language. Sometimes it's just a short moment. I began to fall in love with solitude. Not the lonely kind, but the kind that teaches you peace. Because solitude is not the absence of people. It's the presence of yourself. Autumn taught me the beauty of letting go. The trees didn't resist the wind. They just trust that letting go was part of the cycle. I started doing the same. Letting go of my need to control, to rush, to always have answers. I learned that you can start over anywhere, even in a foreign land. Because home is not a place, it's a feeling you create inside you. The girl who once feared silence had now found peace in it. The student who once doubted herself had now learned how to grow quietly, just like the trees in autumn. Looking back now, I realized that autumn wasn't a just season. It was a chapter of my life. It taught me patience, humility, and grace. And though the leaves have fallen, I carried the calm they gave me. Maybe that's what growth really is. Not becoming someone new, but remembering who you were all along and learning to love that person again. So, this is my autumn in Beijing, a story of change, stillness, and finding warmth in the cold season. Wherever you are, I hope you find your autumn too. Maybe we never met. Maybe we come from different countries. But if you ever felt that kind of quiet, the one that teaches you to breathe again, then maybe we are not that different after all. Let's grow quietly together. If you have ever walked under the falling leaves, maybe you will understand this feeling too. Tell me how autumn feels in your part of the world. I have met so many people online who remind me that we are all just trying to figure life out. So, if you are still watching this, thank you for staying, for listening, and see you in the next season.